Hey friends, welcome back to the show. It's your host Caitlin here, and I'm super excited to introduce you to this week's guest, Karla Mueller. Before we get into it, it has officially, I know I talked about this in the last two episode intros, but this one, it has officially been my 1 year anniversary with leaving corporate America and setting off into this world of what I would still say is very unknown. If you need the nudge, here it is. If you're excited about what you're doing right now, stay there, love up on it, and enjoy the process of wherever you're at. I am sharing a lot more on social about kind of where I'm going, what I'm doing, and also what I've learned in this process of moving from this very structured environment into one that is much more my own, where I have the ability to create my own schedule, create my own life, and in turn make some hard and some fun decisions along the way. So if you don't follow me on Instagram or any of my socials, find me. It's just my first and last name, Caitlin Barner. And I'm having so much fun creating and sharing this because I think a lot of people have felt this feeling of like, ooh, I want to belong somewhere, but oftentimes the place of belonging is one that you create. And so if, like I said, if you're feeling the nudge or, just feeling called to do something different, dare to do that, be bold, and show up for yourself and honor that feeling or that nudge. So I won't harp on or yap too much about all of that. You can see me online. I want to talk a little bit about our guest this week, Karla. Karla and I got connected through our breathwork facilitator training program, and she is just a gem of a human. She is so ethereal, so just heavenly and light. Like even when you see her face or you see her smile, she's truly like an angel. But at the same time, she has the most grounded and rooted presence. And I think once you hear her voice, you're going to feel just this immediate sense of calm. Karla has grown to be a great friend of mine, and just like every interview, it's so cool to learn more about the people that you already know and love. And this conversation surely did not fall short of me just opening up to a whole world that I've never ever seen or been a part of before. Karla currently works traveling in the medical field. She works in surgeon assistance, and so she is kind of an adventurer just naturally. She's moved to a bunch of different places, placed herself in new environments, and she loves to backpack and get outdoors and hike and all that beautiful stuff. On the side, or what she likes to say is her side hustle, but I think it's becoming much more than that. Karla is the founder of Seeds of Discovery, which is a holistic healing wellness brand that she's creating. And she offers a variety of services, whether it be one-on-one consulting and coaching, all the way to breathwork, and our key topic of today, which is craniosacral therapy. It is a mouthful, so I'm only going to say it a couple times. Karla will tell you all about what it is, but she's been doing it for over 35 years, which is just so crazy. That's longer than I've literally been alive. And she has just this healing presence about her that's going to make you want to do a session. Karla does healing in person, of course, but she also does distance healing as well. So I'll drop all the information for her services in the show notes today so that you can check her out. And if you choose to, book a session with her. Karla has lived so many lives, and in this episode, we talk a lot about how just going with the flow and following what lights you up is the path. She talks a little bit about some of the struggles she's had in her life and how it really took being so small and feeling so small to get really confident and really big and step into the purpose that she truly believes that she's on this planet for. In this episode, we talk a lot about craniosacral therapy, but also some of the other modalities that Karla loves to practice. One of them being meditation, of course. She shares that her life is a walking meditation. And we'll also talk a little bit about the gene keys, which if you're not familiar with those, we might have to have her come back and share even more information on. They are a magical tool similar to things like astrology or human design, where you can really get to know yourself at a deeper level. And she has actually done some coaching and consulting with me on my gene keys to better understand what I'm made for, how I'll get there, some of the things that I just naturally struggle with at a soul level, and all that juicy information that I know we all crave as humans, quote unquote, spiritual or not. Karla is always the person that sees the good in all the changes, whether it's from a diet change that you have to make in order to be a healthier version of you, or a big thing that happens in your life that maybe doesn't feel so good at the time, but ultimately leads you into the path that you're on now. And she's so great at reminding me always, just not only in this conversation, but in my life, that you don't have to explain yourself. All you need to do is just live and have fun and see that, everything is happening for you rather than quote unquote against you, right? So we talk about a million things, but I think Karla is such a beautiful example of what true trust and following your intuition actually looks like in real life. She does not back down from a challenge, and she is not afraid to see what the universe, what life has to offer her next. So without further ado, please give yourself a little round of applause wherever you're listening to this for our beautiful guest this week, Karla Mueller. Perfect. Hey, Karla. How's it going?
Good. It's very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, hanging in there. It's been a busy day, but I'm really excited to be here with you and talk all things craniosacral. Right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Craniosac
Craniosacral. Sacral.
craniosacral.
Yeah,
Oh
there you go.
yeah.
It takes a little bit to roll off your mouth, but it's
Yeah. It's funny. I was looking up some information about it just to get a little closer to understand hey, what should I ask Karla on this episode?
uh-huh.
And I was like, I've been spelling it wrong my entire life.
You're not the first.
Yes, it's quite the mouthful. I love it.
Yeah, it has been in my whole life. I've been doing it for over 35 years, and it's magical as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Woo! We'll get into that in just a second.
Okay.
But I love to ask this question to all my guests, and it'll kind of kick off our fun little conversation we've got planned here. And that is, are you, Karla, are you spiritually active?
I absolutely am spiritually active. And
Oh,
it's like, how many things am I doing that's spiritual?
yeah.
um, I was thinking about this. I had been in a meditation class way back when, at least 20 years ago, and they were talking about what are you doing in your, as far as practice for meditation. And my life is a walking meditation.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but I got weird looks on that one. It was like, what do you mean by that?
You're like, you might never know, and that's okay.
Exactly. But I meditate 10 minutes in the morning. I meditate 10 minutes at night. I have friends who I meditate on Zoom with like once a week for 30 minutes. And yeah, I truly feel like I am in a walking meditation. I do my best to be present. And that's what I think is meditation is being present.
Yeah, it's been so fun getting to know you over the last couple of years, and I would agree with that. Observing from the outside, you were just always so present, so in whatever moment that you're in. And I think that's not only a practice that brings you closer to yourself, but also a skill. That is hard for a lot of people to do.
Oh,
So good
yes.
on you, girl.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of things because feels good to me, not so much what someone else says, but it's like, oh, this feels right. This is what I need to do. And I love my life. I'm very blessed.
Beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit more either about some of the other modalities that you practice also to bring you closer to yourself, or even the types of meditation that you do? Sometimes for folks, it's hey, what does that actually mean? Sitting still and breathing for 10 minutes? Or
Mhm.
is it something fun, kooky, wacky that you do? Tell us more.
Well, it's like one thing leads to the next thing that leads to the next thing that leads to the next thing. If you look back over your life, you can see how it's all so perfect and synchronous. So I originally started being curious about human design.
Hmm.
which is a way of using astrology and um, I'm not even sure if I can explain it properly, but it's like a number system. And I actually studied it with a woman, Kathy Rivers, here in Seattle. And I spent a year with her working on my human design, which was out
Hmm.
finding out who I am, what my purpose is here. And it was just so synchronistic. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm right on track. And so studying the human design led me to the gene keys,
Hmm.
which is Richard Rudd. And that took me even deeper. And Richard has, he's very poetic, and he has a wonderful way of just opening up doors for you. And so he has this app that's called the Triple Flame, and it's free, and it's filled with all these possibilities of meditation. And he says, it originally started out that you could set it on a timer that you would pause for like maybe a minute
Hmm.
or two throughout the day. And he has this 10-minute meditation. It's about opening your heart, softening your heart, and opening up your mind. And it has just been so wonderful. So I do it for 10 minutes when I get up in the morning and 10 minutes before I go to bed at night. So that's the meditation piece. And I work well with being guided in the mornings and nights, of course. And then when I meditate with my friends, then we do silent meditation.
Hmm.
So it's
Beautiful.
really a combination. And then the breath work that we have in common. Zach's work, that is so meditative for me too. So there's
Yeah.
lots of things that get weaved in and out. And I just listened to someone else online that was saying just taking 3 deep breaths. When you're anxious or frustrated, just take 3 deep breaths before you do anything else. And I thought that's really great advice.
That is really
So
great
yeah,
advice.
so the journey's been really, it's been great.
Yeah.
And
And
that's really,
I love that you highlighted too, like it's everything happens when it's supposed to happen. The things that you discover along the way come to you at just the right time.
mm-hmm.
I can certainly say that about something like breath work. It's just like, and of course I get to meet really awesome humans like yourself in the process too, which I'm so grateful for as well.
Yeah. It's just if the one thing I think is really important is that people start to listen inside and what feels right, what vibrates. And even if it doesn't make any sense logically, you follow that.
Beautiful.
That's the key for me anyway.
That's the soul
Yeah.
speaking right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Creates the
Gorgeous.
adventure, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for, isn't it? To have a little fun
Mhm.
while we do it.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I've gotten to know you really well over the past couple of years, which has been so fun through
Yeah.
our breathwork facilitator trainings and all the retreats and like give gab lunches in between. But for our listeners who have never met you before, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Oh my goodness.
This is
Um,
the question that always people are like, where do I start? I'm like, take it whichever way you want to. I'm like, take
um,
us to the astral plane and back, please, Karla.
well, when I do tell my story and people ask and they're interested, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you've done so many things, and they're so different."
Mm,
So I started out of high school going to beauty school. So I got a license in cosmetology. Then I went to barber school, got a license in that. I worked for 20 years in Milwaukee as a in a salon, which was just wonderful. And then I ended up doing massage in the salon. We had private booths in the salon, so and sinks, so that no one had to get up and go somewhere to get their hair washed. The chairs just turned and got your hair washed. And when I put the conditioner on, I would massage people's scalps. And they were like, "Oh," and I had a few proposals. It was like, "Would you just marry me?" And I was like, I am so curious about this that it got me doing massage because I was like, I'm just going to do this for fun. And then the salon opened up the opportunity to offer it in as a service. So I did massage in the salon, and I went to a conference, and the conference um, presented craniosacral therapy by Dr. Upledger out of Florida. He's a osteopath, and I was just overwhelmed with it because it felt so fun. It's really a light touch. It's if you took a nickel and put it on the back of your hand, that's how light it is. And people get to keep their clothes on. So there's not that, if they've never had a massage before, it's like, oh, this is just weird. And cranial work can feel weird sometimes too, but it's not as intrusive. It's very
Yeah.
gentle. And that took me to opening up my intuition, because doing the cranial work, you really listen in a different way, because you're listening to a rhythm in the body. Like, you have your heartbeat, your respiration, you have your nervous system, your muscular system. The cranial rhythm is like incorporating all of those, because it's a fluid. The fluid that runs down your spinal cord, the cerebral spinal fluid, and it covers your head. So Dr. Upledger would tune into it, and it gives you so much information in the body. It's like listening to a radio station, and you tune into cranial. And you can ask the body questions, and it'll give you answers. Of course, yes and no, nothing elaborate. And you connect on a higher plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, sometimes I still wonder, like, what am I getting? Does this make any sense? And then if I ask a question to the person on the table, and they kind of go, well, yeah, that makes complete sense. And it helps with aches and pains, and helps the nervous system calm down. People who have trouble sleeping at night, it's really great for kids, newborns, people with autism. It's just, you never know. That's why I always offer it up. Let's just see what happens.
Cool.
I always feel like I don't know I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can guarantee there'll be a change. And it doesn't necessarily happen right away. It will happen. It could happen a couple days later. You'll get an insight, and it'll just feel where you didn't have it before. And it's the energy running through me, so it's not taking anything from me. I would feel filled from it.
Yeah.
Just really fun.
Yeah. Beautiful. And you said you've been practicing as a practitioner for like 35 years or something like that?
Over 35 years, yeah. So I have a lot of tools in my toolbox, and because I've done it for so long, it looks like it looks magical. And Dr. Upledger wanted anybody and everybody to have an opportunity to learn how to do it. So he even has a program for kids, like kindergartners. He taught them that if somebody was aching or had hurt themselves, or someone had a headache, you had to ask permission first. You just didn't go do it, and put their hands on it and think happy thoughts. That's all the child had to do, because they're so pure energy-wise.
Yeah.
And he tells a story about this mom and a child, and the mom had a headache, and she laid down, and the little one said, "Mom, can I do this? I'll put my hands on it." And the mom asked, "What are you thinking?" And she think, "Ice cream cones."
Aww.
That was her happy thoughts.
That's so sweet.
It is. So it's just, I feel very blessed that I've gotten to do this, and that I get to do it, and it's like I don't have to convince anyone of it. If they're attracted to it, great. If not, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I can speak for it too. Like, we did a virtual session one time when I was having, I think it was, I don't remember what was going on with me, but I was having a wackadoodle day. And you were like, let me tune in. Let's do let's get some movement going. I think about like my wrist when we were on retreat a couple of months ago too. So it's like, it's a softening from what I've experienced from you. I think sometimes when we go in for, especially with the body, things like massage, right? Or even a yoga class, it can move a lot of intensity around. And maybe that's the case for some sessions, but it really sounds like it's like just that beautiful practice of release, softening, making space for.
Yeah. Another study that I did was Esoteric Healing by Alice Bailey. That's where I learned to do the long distance stuff.
Yeah.
And, she always said energy follows thought. So where you put your thoughts, the energy will go. And that really enhanced a belief and trusting that what you're feeling, and not to question it so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was very fun.
Beautiful. So you talked a little bit, I'm just curious, like, you hear the cranial part, the cranio of the craniosacral. What does the sacral have to do with it? What is that breakdown?
Well, the sacrum is at the very bottom or just above your tailbone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the cerebral spinal fluid covers the entire cranium, the head, and then it goes right down to the spine. And so
Ah,
that vibrates out. So it's the cranial sacral therapy. And there is a position where you hold the sacrum in the very base of the skull and you can just feel the rhythm. It's like a rocking motion that goes on.
wow, very cool.
And
Do
then
you
what was
ever
go
go
ahead.
ahead? No, you
Well, I
go.
was going to say, what I do in my other job is I work in the OR as a surgical tech. And right now I'm in doing neuro and spine. So I was so excited because I get to actually see the live anatomy. I got to see the dural tube where the spinal fluid flows through and how it
Cool.
coincides. Oh, it was just amazing. And so I consider myself a anatomy junkie. And so I get to satisfy that need as well as, the touch.
Yeah. Well, and that's the question I was just about to ask you. I know that you incorporate this in, I wouldn't say like a medical setting, meaning you're still a practitioner using it in that, in hospitals and the different places that you work in. Can you share a little bit more about like how that works, how the conversation around energetic healing in the medical space has gone for you? I'm so curious.
Well, I don't talk about it very much, but I would say one of the things that I do is I hold space. And
Hmm.
so in the OR, for the patient who comes in, I hold space for healing for their highest good. And I connect everybody in the room and it's just for things to flow, really flow well. And my sense is that people have an idea that when I'm in the room, things are good and they like it when I come in the room, but they don't necessarily know why.
Hmm.
And I don't necessarily explain any of that. I do treat, I
I
do
love
treat,
it.
I do treat my coworkers like, 5, 10 minutes and work on their headaches or aches and pains. And really the work is a facilitation of that person to heal themselves. And so it's giving them an opportunity to get in touch more with their bodies.
Yeah.
It's an interesting combination. I Again, it looks like it's magical, and really the power is in the person who's getting the treatment. They're deciding what to do and how to make it change, which is great. It's
Yeah,
like
that's where healing comes from, is
yeah,
within. We have to want to do that work.
right.
Even if it seems like somebody else is supporting, facilitating, all that
Hmm.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and I tell people too, it's like it's okay to ask me. There's so much power in being asked because the person already has the desire versus me saying, "Oh, it looks like you could really use something."
Totally.
Yeah. So, and as a projector in human design, it's really important that I get invited in, and that has really helped me a lot. Um, Even as a understanding as a kid, where I was sort of on the outside and not getting invited in and being hurt or disappointed, and it's like, yeah, no, it wasn't the right thing. It was so good that I didn't get invited in, and now I wait for the invitation. So it's like knowing that when I get invited, it's like it's exactly the right thing I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
I love that. So
Yeah, it's
cool.
fun.
You just know yourself. I would agree, when you're in the room feels much lighter, much better, much more connected. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And it isn't even something that I do intentionally.
Yeah, that's just who
It's,
you are.
yeah. And in the cranial world, I did a lot of teaching assisting. So I would hold space in the room for, 40 to 60 people for them to learn, open the space up for them to get the best that they could for themselves. And it just becomes automatic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Cool. When you think about your work with craniosacral practicing, can you share a little bit, like, the body keeps the score? We always hear that, right? You work in a medical space as well, so you understand that as our anatomy junkie. What does the body's like innate wisdom? How does that play a role in what you do, in this beautiful practice?
Oh, it's a very sacred space. For me to be working with someone, it's an opportunity to uh, make a safe environment for people to share their stories. Because our ancestral stories, a lot of the things that we bring into this world to learn what we need to learn, And it's like, oh, time for that to change, time for it to do something different. And that alone can be scary, not just change alone. It's like,
Yeah.
who am I going to be? What it's going to be like? And that's where the breath comes in too, is that breath is such a sacred space. And yet it's the piece that connects everybody on the planet.
Yeah. We all
Yeah,
do it. That's so cool.
exactly. And
Pause.
by changing your I don't know, your makeup, just understanding more about who you are helps change everything.
Yeah.
Why you do things, why and how you can change them. Not get rid of them, because that's a lot of work. I don't even think it's possible to get rid of it. It's more about loving it. Loving it,
Beautiful.
understanding it, and being grateful.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. And I think too, like, we talk a lot about there's trauma in the body. We can clear that oh so much, not only for ourselves, but for the people that have come before us and for the people that are coming behind us or ahead of us, whatever direction you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Our children, their children. I was talking to a friend the other day and she was like, they say that when you sit down to commit to this work and do it, like for you, you're also clearing 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. And I had to sit with that for a second because I was like, wow, like those days that feel so freaking heavy and I don't want to sit down and meditate for 10 minutes or reach out to someone to hold space for me. It's like, whether or not it's 7 years or 5 years or even 2, like that feels so big. And it's so cool that our body is the vehicle or the tool, if you will, that not only like holds on to those things, but also creates space for new, for different, for change. And I'm sure you have a million experiences in your practice that you're just like, oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that's interesting because I'm sure there are, but I don't necessarily know the results of the work.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting when I was putting the website together. My web designer had never had any cranial work, and the woman who referred me to the web designer, she hadn't had any cranial work either. So I ended up treating, and they also became testimonials on my website.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I mean, they blew me away. Testimonials blew me away because the Thera who designed the website had said, I didn't know what craniosacral therapy was. And like anything, it's not easy to pronounce until you find out.
Yeah.
And she had had migraines, which I didn't know. And when I was working on her, when I first treat someone, I kind of walk through what I'm feeling so that they can be in touch with what's going on in their body. It's another way to reconnect and listen differently. And she had said in the testimonial that she had been trying for a long time, all different kinds of modalities. And the cranial work her migraines were gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know that because she didn't come in saying she had migraines. And Hiesta, she had very good experience through just feeling things in her body when I was treating the very first time. And then on her testimonial, she said, I was able to sleep like I've never slept in 30 years.
Wow.
I would have never known that. I'll check back in and say, how are you doing? But people don't necessarily remember to say, well, this is what's happened. It's more like, oh, I'm doing good.
Yes. That is so true. Anytime I check in with people after breathwork sessions, they're like, I'm fine, or I'm feeling this. I'm like, okay, let's take it one layer deeper because I want to hear about, like, not even just for your sake, but also like it's so cool to hear what energy does for people. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yes, and a friend of mine too with the breathwork, she is another testimonial, and the things she said, it's like, oh my goodness, it's really made an impact. And that fills my heart, but I don't necessarily feel and get that information. And so this has been really fun.
Does that ever become hard for you? Like I would consider myself someone who is outcome oriented. I really love to see, like, what fills up my cup is seeing some sort of change or shift, as you said. Is that ever hard for you to be like, I'll never know? I'm at peace with that as a healing person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am, because I've been practicing it, letting it go for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where it comes in. It's like I can guarantee you there'll be a transformation.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it's going to be.
Hmm.
And that's where, like, even right now, I'm doing packages of three. You know, three breathwork sessions, three cranial sessions. I could say there's going to be a transformation in one session, but I
Yes.
know definitely there will be in three.
Yeah.
And it gives the person an opportunity of suspense. It's like, what is it going to be? And also to set an intention
Hmm.
of what they would like it to be, because that gets heard too by the universe.
Yeah.
But to being attached to it, I've practiced a fair amount of not being attached, which takes practice. And
Absolutely.
yeah, but it actually makes it fun. It's like the
Yeah.
surprise.
Oh, it's like that. It's not so much a wondering, it's a discovering
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you do find out from one person or from every person, like what shift has occurred. Oh,
Yes, yes. I was
that's
on
lovely.
a backpacking trip early on in my 30s, I think it was, and I we traveled from Minnesota to, I don't know, Wyoming or something, and we were much of us jammed into a van, and I was treating just for fun, and one woman had some TMJ things going on, so I was like, well, why don't you just lay back and I'll work on that,
Mm.
just seeing what happens. It was maybe 10 minutes at the most, and it was gone.
Wow.
She never had it again, and I never know. But I was able to have contact with her, and just out of curiosity, I asked, and she said, "Yeah, it never came back."
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
it is very, very cool.
I need to call you. I am having some TMJ jaw tension, and I had vertigo again today.
Uh,
Still, it's just very funky. I am going to go to the doctor and just double check that everything's kosher on my end. But
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's I can imagine, like, for people that are like, oh, there's no solution. That's kind of how I feel right now. There's no quote unquote cure. Having something moved in your body like that is just, it's an incredible feeling, I'm sure.
Mhm. I'm just reading or listening to a book, and it's called "Everything is Figureoutable,"
Mm.
and I think that applies to health as well. It's all
Yes.
figureoutable.
Yeah.
Uh, One of my key things that supports me is my food.
Mm.
And that it was quite a journey too. One of those things that one thing led to the next thing, that's led to another thing. And people would say from the outside looking in that that's just so disciplined or so hard. I had a health issue come up, and when I went researching into it, it connected to inflammation in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started exploring things and came up with this program online. It's called Bright Line Eating. They take out all flour and all sugar. They consider it like the cocaine and heroin drugs, flour and sugar.
Aha.
And very
Mm-hmm.
addictive, but also very inflammatory for the
Sure.
system. So I went on the program just to see what would happen, and I lost 50 pounds. Not intending to lose weight, it's part of the program is to lose weight. And I just felt so good.
Yeah.
So one of the things in this program is more about maintenance, and because people when they go on diets, it's like it's
Totally.
over. Yeah. So I've been on the program for 7 years, and I've been able to maintain my weight within maybe
Mm.
2 pounds, which blows me away.
Yeah.
But also that what came with that is the clarity of mind, and the brain fog's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that also adds to me. And it's like I am so talking about attached. I am so attached and connected to the outcome on that it's like there's no way I want to change that. There's no way I want to go back.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
think that's appropriate. I mean, we all have something in our lives
of
that we're attached to, right? It might be your blankie from when you were 3 or a specific way of living.
Right.
But I think that's amazing because it's like, one, health is such a journey in and of itself. And I think a lot of us, including myself sometimes, look at maintaining or supporting ourselves as like a burden. But it's like, no, we get to do that. We have the opportunity. We have to think of it in a different way because, like, this is our body, this is our life, and if we don't, it is going to become a burden. And I believe energetically too, like, things don't work out when you're grasping onto something, but rather you have that like healthy idea of like, okay, this makes me feel so freaking good. I'm going to continue to do that. That's a routine, a habit, a thing that I'm connected to that like lights my soul up and supports also my body and my mind in the process. And honestly, it's a journey for everybody. Like you just kind of got to do your thing, because cutting out flour and sugar for me right now, whoa. I'd be like, I don't know if I can do that. Maybe if I tried it.
Well, that's just it. It's like, there's no way I would force it on anyone.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even talk about it. It's like, that has been part of my spiritual journey. I know that's the foundation of it. And true, I love food. And also, I'm not only did I take out flour and sugar, but I went vegan. So I took out eggs, I took out, cheese, and it was not so much anything else than my health.
Yeah.
Because those things also create inflammation. And it's like, so what could happen if I'm doing research.
Right.
And it's like, just see what happens. And the longer I'm on it, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
I lose nothing.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the everything's figureoutable. It reminds me of the quote, you are the greatest project you'll ever work on. That one always has really resonated with me, because it's like, yeah, that it's a lifetime task to help yourself, to grow, to change, to transform, and also to stay grounded and like be who you are. And that's fun. Like, that can be really fun. It can be challenging, but it can also be really fun.
But the challenges are really about learning things. It's like,
yes.
And the uncomfortableness is really about learning things. And once you can get past, don't avoid the uncomfortableness, because that's really important as well, just to be able to feel that. And it's just a matter of like, okay, so wow, it's the lesson.
Yes.
When I was going through my health issue, I compared it to the story of the little boy coming into the room where there was a big pile of horse manure. And he started digging through it. And they're like, what are you doing? And he said, oh, with all this horse manure, there's got to be a pony somewhere.
Oh.
So, it's like there's always the benefits, there's always the bright side. And until you start looking, you don't give yourself an opportunity to see it. If it hadn't been for my health issue, I would not be enjoying my life at the same level I am right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I would change right now.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. When you think about the people that you work with, you mentioned you work with kids, you work with, folks that are like, hey, I'm curious. So I'm sure that's a variety of people in between. What is like your favorite population to work with when it comes to craniosacral therapy?
I enjoy them all. The part that I enjoy most is like who shows up. Let's see who shows up now. Because it's really a listening piece, and kids are great fun. Older people, they're just, I love it all. I really do.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, your Seeds of Discovery, your brand new business, and how you're like really, really excited to work with families and all that good stuff. So I thought maybe kids would be your favorite, but I love hearing it all.
I like kids and animals too. I mean, they're great fun. My mission statement is to teach and inspire children and adults in every home around the world to love themselves. And I've had that mission statement for a long time, and I keep on going, and how am I going to do this? I mean, how is this going to unfold?
Yeah.
And that's where my side hustle actually came into um, something more concrete. Because going to school and being a surgical tech, I didn't have the time to do as much treatment. So whoever came into my system or my awareness, I knew that they were meant to find me.
Yes.
And so now what I'm doing is reaching out, and I'm making myself more available and seeing what shows up on that. Again, I don't have to convince anyone. So it's a different way of approaching a business. I'm going
Yeah.
to put myself out there and explain what I do, and you'll know immediately if you want to come see me.
Yeah.
So I have a friend at work, and a young woman, she's in her 30s, and we hadn't connected because I've been traveling. And she said, "So what are you up to, Karla?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing this breath work, and I I've got this website set up, and I said I'm also doing group breath work for groups." She's, "Oh, this would work." I said, "Okay, what does that mean?" And she was like, "Well, I have these friends, and we do stuff together." And she said, "I would love to, have them come over and you do breath work on them." So she created, and this is, I want to, all my work is done in people's homes. I don't have an office. So I went to her apartment, and what she did is she got everybody yoga mats, different colors. She got everybody blankets and pillows, and I brought eye masks for the breath work. And she gifted them this opportunity to experience breath work as a
Oh,
group.
beautiful.
It was so much fun. And before we started, I was explaining what I do, and she was actually saying how we knew each other. And then she said, "Oh, yeah, and Karla does craniosacral therapy." And they're like, "Well, what's that?" And she said, "Well, maybe Karla can do some when we get done." And then someone piped up and said, "Oh, maybe we should get together again
Aw.
and just do that." So it was like, oh, this is opening up another door of opportunities to teach and get connected. Once you do the cranial work and we do a session, I can guarantee your intuition is going to open up.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so 30 something and to get that gift, oh my gosh.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And too, like in a group setting, I think sometimes it's hard to be like vulnerable, but also open to laying there. I mean, we know from breath work and laughing your butt off or crying your eyes out or somewhere in between, floating through the universe. You never quite know what's going on until you do hear those words and you find those opportunities to connect with the person after the session. So that's so cool.
And they were so excited that I came. And when I left, I got the most heartfelt hugs from every one of them, which was so great. I mean, heartfelt hugs. I don't know if anybody's ever not had a heartfelt hug, but it's amazing to get
Yeah.
that. And I got one from each of them. So beautiful.
People half-ass hugs very frequently. So it feels good to get a good hug. I know that
Yeah.
feeling for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And then the other thing that in my holistic coaching is also to help people with their finances. These young women is like, do you have an emergency fund? Having an emergency can make a huge difference in how things happen to you.
yeah.
And as women, especially, we're not taught how to handle money. And so that's another thing, opening it up to maybe doing a Zoom once a month to help them with questions and get them set up in directions so that they can take care of themselves and that they can feel confident in who they are and invest and make passive income. It's just like, that's what I want to do too. And that's part
Yeah.
of the holistic coaching, is to help in businesses.
Ugh. Have you ever had a moment where you were not confident in yourself?
Oh my gosh.
Because I've loved watching this path unfold, and we connect often about like what we're up to and what we're doing and planning and all the exciting things. And anytime like you speak, it's with so much conviction, but it's soft. It's like, oh, I believe in myself and my path so deeply. And I'm sure for people that are listening to you speak as well, they perceive the same. And so I'm just curious, like, how'd you get here? Is it the craniosacral? Is it the breath work? What can we do to be more I guess in a way, grounded and confident all at the same
Mhm.
time.
Yeah. Well, and I forgot how many hard things I've been through.
Hmm.
And one of the women in the group session, she said, "Has things always been this easy for you, Karla?" And I was like, no. Um, but I do have this ability to change it around, to find the lesson.
Yeah.
Um, in my life, I ended up ending a relationship, closing a business, moving like 1,000 miles away where I didn't know hardly anyone, starting a business, and my father died.
Hmm.
I think it's like I got five out of the seven big things that can happen to you within
Yeah.
a 2 month span.
Wow.
And and I realized when I look back on it that I have a tendency to do that. It's like I go. My mom passed away when I was 29 years old,
Hmm.
suddenly in her sleep at Christmas time.
Oh,
Yeah, and she ran the house. It was devastating. My whole family fell apart,
yeah.
and it has never come back together.
Hmm.
So I think part of that was like I needed to search to find my sense of peace. And I realized that when all those things happen to me, it's like bursting out. And I got so small that I could get so big.
Oh, I
And
love that.
in that time it was finding out who really are my deep friends,
Hmm.
who are my spiritual friends that were willing to listen to me over and over again, to rehash what I learned, how I felt. I felt lost. It's like, it's just a normal process to feel that way and yet be okay.
Yeah.
So it's again that searching of finding what's going to be your touchstone, what's going to work for you. And if you get a hit that you should go do something, then go do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain yourself. That's probably the hardest part.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and not and not fitting in anymore, because of your experiences, you're not going to fit into those same pair of shoes anymore that you used to wear, nor are you
Yeah.
going to want to.
Oh, that's a beautiful message. It's something I personally need to hear right now. But I think a lot of people do because the world around us is shifting too. We're a product of our environment just as much as we are creating change, if you will. And yeah, I think it's really, really hard to know that there is a lesson in everything. And while I don't necessarily call it fate, there is that, like, I have a deep belief that there's that soul contract that, like, we did come here to feel these things and we did come here to stumble and fall over and make mistakes and feel like hurt. And that will only help us, like, the shifting point is what you choose to do with those things. And unfortunately, you see a lot of people sit in that forever,
Mhm.
and don't allow it to be a catalyst or an opening, if you will, to something different. Yeah, wow,
And
it's beautiful.
it's like, and let them,
Yeah.
and let them.
As Zach
Yeah.
says, drinking beer and watching TV is just as good of a life as whatever the hell we're doing.
Yeah, and it's really that going inside to figure that out, and not being concerned what someone else is going to do. And you are a choice. That's the choice that you have. You're on your path. And who's to say that person who is watching television and drinking beer and potato chips, that they are making a difference in the world? Who's to say?
Yeah.
And it might come in just a spark of whatever, or it's all good. And that's a little hard sometimes. It's like, well, it's all good. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard to say that right now. We're flooded with so much bad information, quote unquote, right? Like scary things happening around the world,
Mhm.
tragedies, just weirdness that is this unfolding of whatever's next. But like, it's so interesting kind of hearing people talk about things because it's like you have to also try and remember the bigger picture and you're a part of it and you get to be a part of it. So how are you going to like be who you are in that part of it? You know, you do contribute in a
Absolutely.
beautiful, unique, only you kind of way.
So one of the things that is probably a gift that I take for granted is the opportunity to see into the future or be able to see into the past and then feel. So for me, what I do is like we're all going to go through change.
Yep.
I mean, guaranteed, there's going to be change. The one thing you can be assured of is change in life. But the part you have control of your choice of that change, and you can feel into is like, well, is this change going to be fun, or is this change going to be not so much fun? And so to me, that's where your choice is. Change is going to happen.
Right.
And so like for me as a traveler, my change can be going to a different hospital, or my change can include going to a different environment, like a different city, a different state, or my change could be moving to just a different hospital in where I live. And it's like, so which one am I ready for? Which one would feel really good where I'm at right now? Versus, basing it on, I mean, people are going to base it on their value system. And that's another thing, is what's important to you.
Right.
And that takes a little bit to figure that out too.
Yeah, absolutely. And those things can also change.
Yeah.
I think we deep down have core values that, are part of our purpose as very unique humans and souls. But I also think those things can change and shift, and priorities change.
Mm-hmm. And it's also recognizing, how do you build structure?
Yeah.
How do you build that structure to support you when you go through those changes, so that it's not, I mean, it can be dramatic as you want it to be, or it can be as smooth as you want it to be. You get to
And
choose.
then we use all the tools we have when it feels a little out of our control,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Beautiful.
and it's owning that we are creators. We are creating and manifesting what we're in right now, and knowing that we deserve it. It's like we're learning from it. It's not like, well, you deserve this, like it's a bad thing. It's like, no, no, no. It's like you are worthy. And the vibration of what it's like to be worthy.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It can be very fun, or not so much fun.
Yeah. And it's all, fun is relative too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Your idea of fun and my idea of fun might be very similar, but someone else over on the curb is like, girls, absolutely not.
That's work. Yeah.
Like, you want to go talk about like remote viewing, astral projecting? Sign me up.
Exactly. And it is choosing who you can do that with,
Yeah.
and getting your squad, your community, your tribe, your support system.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may feel like they don't exist, but you're never alone.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that takes a little bit to figure that out too, to feel that you're never really alone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the big picture, nobody gets out of here alive.
Amen.
So it's like, what do you want to do with it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
What's going to fill you up that, you're going to be bursting with joy?
Yes. Every single day. Like, that's possible. I think
Yes.
a lot of us, including myself, are like, that's not possible. There are going to be icky parts and shitty parts and boring parts, but as long as those parts still bring you the centimeter of joy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And part of what I got with the Seeds of Discovery is that I kept on searching for, what kind of message am I going to give? It's like, how can I help people discover themselves and to believe in themselves? And it was like, share what you've learned. It's like the books that I've learned from, like the Let Them theory from Mel Robbins, and Gene Keys from Richard Root. It's like, right. It's like, if what vibrates for you, it's like, oh, I got to go check that out. Or everything is Figureoutable, and that's by Marie Ferlo. And then another one is my coaching program from Rachel Rodgers. Everyone should be a millionaire. I mean, what a concept!
We should.
Entirely possible.
Yes. You just have to be open to it. I'm
Exactly.
very much working through that right now, of like in the past couple days even, of just, oh my God, like you're here today and tomorrow could be a completely different experience. Let it be.
Yeah.
You know, you never know with just like sharing your heart what will come from that. There's nobody holding you back except your own, like, I love RuPaul, like inner saboteur, you know. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you're on the cusp always. You just have to let yourself kind of move over the edge a little.
And that could just take some practice. That's all.
Absolutely.
And it's like, depending what stories we're holding in our family and our ancestry, that could be so foreign that it's like, well, you want me to do what?
Yeah.
I don't have a clue how to do that. And you want me to trust myself? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't.
What is intuition? I don't know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even just saying it will open up your intuition and just being curious of like, what would that mean?
Yeah.
And trust is another one through. Is just
Yeah.
trusting that it is glorious. It's a
Yeah.
glorious world. Even when all this other stuff is going on, there are things coming into this planet that are just going to blow us away. That
Yes.
kids are coming in with, and creating and developing, that it's going to make this such a better place. And what would happen if you focused on that?
I think that's a lot easier said than done for
Yeah,
us. We're in such a new time, you know. There's more information available than ever before.
exactly.
And it's that little balance, that little like cha-cha dance of like ignorance is bliss. Being aware and educated is also very helpful. You know, we want to be able to see the world and travel and take care of our planet, take care of ourselves, make millions of dollars. And it's like, what, to your point, what fills up your cup? And that'll enable you to do those things, you know.
Yeah,
And if that's not your desire, that's fine. Go find yours.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It goes back to just let them. It's
Yeah.
like, and then let yourself figure it out, and be okay. Because there's so many stories that we were told is like, you can't do that, you would never be this, you're not smart enough to do that. It's like, well, that is just so not true.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
and know that who we heard it from, that's what they heard.
Matters.
Yeah, that's what they heard, so they're just passing on information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Got it through the grapevine, huh?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Kind of speaking on your confidence, I'm just so curious. You know, I think you and I have both practiced these modalities for a long time. For me, it's yoga, it's breath work. For you, breath work, meditation, craniosacral therapy. How was it for you stepping into the teacher role? And like, how do you stay grounded when you're holding space for people? I ask because I think a lot of us do that naturally, whether it's something like that it's our career and that we do for others in service. Sometimes just existing as the humans we are, like we're holding space for each other. So I'm just curious how you stay rooted in like yourself and just your own practices.
Yeah, I think what I talked about earlier, the food that I eat is actually ground. Um, One of the things I found out, not only is it being vegan, but it's eating raw foods. And one would think, oh, raw foods would make you more, not grounded. But for me,
Yeah.
it does. And just breathing, reminding myself. And another thing that keeps me grounded is looking around is like, what can I do to help? How can I be of service to you? It's like, can I do this for you if someone's tired? And I do that a lot at work. So I'll go look around and see where I can be helpful. And kindness. I think those are all gratitude, kindness, being of service are all grounding things. Along with your breath, of course. But, yeah, just looking for things to help with.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
For someone who's like newer to energy healing, body work, all that good stuff, what's one piece of advice that you would give them for like tuning into their body for the first time or getting to know themselves a little bit better?
I would say just listen, and you can't screw it up. You cannot mess it up. If you knew that you could never make a mistake in your life, what would you do? Because a lot of times I think what happens is, well, I'm not doing it right. And Zach does it great when he talks about the breath work in the session. He's like, you've been breathing your whole life. You can't mess with us. We can't mess this up.
Yeah.
And the same thing is you've been in your body your whole life. And maybe you haven't been in your body the way you, in the future, you can be. It's just a matter of exploring your body and where you get drawn to. It's like, is it Reiki? Is it yoga? Try it out. I mean, clearly, give yourself a chance to experience things.
Yeah.
And if you decide that it's not working, it's okay. You're not a quitter.
Yeah.
It's like judging yourself because you didn't finish something or you didn't do something. It's like, well, it wasn't the right thing anymore.
Yep.
It was time to move on and give yourself permission.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. Takes a while.
Yes. Yeah, like we said, I think that's a lifelong journey, is getting to know what's going on underneath our skin and right above it, too. Like that energetic body is part of the body, in my opinion. Cool. To wrap up our conversation, I have some rapid fire questions for you that I like to ask every guest. So the first is, what is your favorite part about the human experience?
I think feeling. The feeling. Yeah. Because there's so many feelings. And nobody feels them the way you feel them.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
One-of-a-kind feelings, yeah.
Gorgeous. Why do you think spiritual connection is so important? I say these are rapid fire, but sometimes they're the hardest ones to answer.
There's so many things that are coming in. It's so rich. It's delicious. It's enticing. I don't know. It's more than what you could imagine.
Yes. It's
and
life.
It keeps getting better. And it keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to do it? It's like eating something and it's like you get a treat and you want more of it.
Of course.
And it just fills you up in a way that's hard to explain. And everybody's is different. That's the best part.
Yeah. I love it. Are there any books or other resources? I know you mentioned a few, so I'll link those in the show notes. But are there any ones that you haven't mentioned that you think would be important for our listeners to know about craniosacral therapy, gene keys, living life?
The Big Leap. I don't think I mentioned that one.
Is that Brene Brown?
No, that one is Gay Hendrix.
Oh, yes.
And he's got a number of books. He's actually I Love Myself. And he's got a technique where he talks about going right into the feeling, like if you're feeling grumpy or if you're feeling angry. I love the fact that I'm feeling angry.
Yeah. And
so you go into it, and it's been so powerful. When I first read the book, I was playing with some friends, and over the phone, and I could feel the shift. I love myself feeling that way. It's like, oh my goodness.
I love that.
Yeah, great tool. It really got a lot of good information that you shared.
Cool. Good to know.
The
I'll
cranial
link that
work,
book as well.
the cranial work, if someone gets interested, look up the Upledger Institute in Florida, and there's 4-day classes to start the program, and it's wonderful.
Cool. I love it.
Yeah.
And speaking of craniosacral therapy, tell us all about the cool services you're offering, the things that you're doing, or any upcoming events that we should know about for you.
So you can go to seedsofdiscovery.com, and it's offering craniosacral therapy, breath work, and holistic coaching. And I'm doing in packages of 3, both the cranial work and the breath work. And then I'm doing a series of 6 sessions for the holistic coaching, which you can combine things. And also, as you had mentioned, doing the long distance, that's also another possibility through the website. I offer a discovery call to check in and see what's going on for you, and if we're a match, if that's going to work. And what's coming up is I'm going to be doing a 100-day challenge. I have a YouTube channel and a LinkedIn that I'm working with. I have a virtual assistant who is so excited about this, to do 100 days of just showing up consistently, and we'll be teaching affirmations, and it'll give you a sense of more of who I am, which
Beautiful.
I'm excited, because I think that will be part of the invitation, and then see if anything feels like it's a fit.
Gorgeous. I love that. So we can find you, where else can we find you? You said on YouTube, and then also LinkedIn?
Yes, and on the YouTube is going to be Seeds of Discovery Healing, where the website is seedsofdiscovery.com.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, Karla, thank you. This was so fun. I was like, we talked about craniosacral therapy and then went down into the depths of like a therapy session, which is always so fun.
It is. And there's just so much out there. So journey on. Journey on.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being a guest. I appreciate having you here. And until next time.
Until next time. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.